I want to do a podcast about films.
I don't think anyone will listen, mate.
Ah, fuck it, should we do it anyway?
Ah, yeah, go on then.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Movie the Needle, a podcast where two complete amateurs haphazardly dissect a film that one of us likes and one, well, not so much. My name's Simon, and I'm in our shed with my good friend Carl, where we will be explaining our opposing viewpoints and seeing whether we can movie the needle for one another. This week is the 10th anniversary of the 2014 Damien Chazelle directed movie about an ambitious jazz drummer striving for perfection under the intense and abusive control of conductor JK Simmons. Blood, sweat, and single tears ensue. It's Whiplash!
I'm really not looking forward to this one, you know.
I know you're not, but I don't know why. It'll be so good.
Every time
I'm very excited.
Every time I come back to my notes, it just makes me really cross again.
Well, that'll be good. It'll be good content, if nothing else, Carl. Just think of everyone else who listens to this, okay? It's for them.
Yeah, I'm not
You know
sure.
who you are.
Yeah, I think we. I hope you've got a game.
I do.
All right,
I do have a guy. It's a return of Taglies.
Okay, we need something to lighten the mood. It was either that or I was thinking. Do you ever watch The Day to Day?
No.
Oh, you're joking.
No.
There's a brilliant section in there that they do with Jerry Adams, who they're sort of
the real Jerry Adams?
No, it's a mock news show.
Oh.
The Day to Day, right? Like Chris Morris and all that.
All right.
Steve Coogan's playing Jerry Adams, and because the BBC weren't allowed to put his voice on at the time, The Day to Day take this off by having Steve Coogan inhale helium before he speaks.
How is this related to what we were talking about?
Because I was thinking, if I maybe we'll do helium, we could do that.
Why?
Because it'll lighten the mood of it.
Oh, right,
it's really
right.
funny.
Cool. I mean,
You should definitely check
do
it
you
out.
have any helium?
No.
Right. There's some poor planning here, Carl. Come on.
Yeah.
Sinn Féin is a legitimate political party.
Cool.
Your tone is antagonistic and you're making me very angry.
Good.
Which would have worked, but you haven't seen the fucking bit.
No. But anyway, yes, there is a game. I'm excited about today's show. You're not, but yeah, you'll come round. You'll come round.
Okay.
It'll be good chat, if nothing else.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But, important breaking news. Ted's on the corner.
Oh, yeah, you sent me this screenshot.
Started following us on Instagram.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. I mean, to be
Is
fair,
that because you followed them?
it's quite staged. Well, no. So we went to Ted's on the corner as a family trip.
I was going to say, who the hell's we?
Yeah, the family, not us. No, my other family, Emma tagged them and us in the in a post, sort of saying
okay.
coffee, and tagged us, and then they liked us after that.
Okay.
So have they liked us after seeing and having a listen? Oh,
I did wonder if you'd been in there and been like, hey, we've been talking about you.
I was so tempted, but I thought this could go very badly wrong.
Yeah, because we have also been accused of
Slagging them
being
off
a
a little
front
bit.
for
Not-
money
well,
laundering. And
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all good fun. I spoke to the owner. He seems like a nice. I think he'd take it okay.
yeah,
He was. He admits it's been 4 years. It's
4 years.
4 years. 2020 signs went up, and he wishes he'd done it sooner.
Yeah, no
Don't
shit.
we all?
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, he's had a day job. We can relate. Fitting in other stuff around it. But hey, it's one more follower, if nothing else.
yeah, very good. Hey, I've got some news. I figured out your Turkish drink.
You figured out my Turkish drink.
What it was, yeah.
Oh, the milk.
Yeah,
Oh,
kefir,
yeah, sounds about right.
which is some sort of like probiotic fermented milk thing, which is it's basically Turkish Yakult. That's what it is. You
I mean, it's shit. It's still
you ever-
shit.
you
But
ever
cool. Why?
partaking in the old Yakult?
No.
Well, that's what it is.
My
So
gut bacteria is already very friendly.
well, so you've basically just had an indie version of
An indie version.
of Yakult. Yeah, there was probably, if you'd have paid attention, a sign next to it that said, "Here's what Big Yakult doesn't want you to know," because that's
Right.
sort of that's the style of these things at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It made me want to vomit. Is that good for my gut bacteria?
I don't know. You should probably write to Sir John Yakult and complain.
Sir John Yakult.
Yeah, he's probably heading it up, isn't he? Anyway, something else that amuses me about kefir
Okay.
and figuring out that that's what you had.
Mm-hmm.
is I only know it's kefir because a friend, he knows who he is, messaged me to tell me that, Simon drank kefir.
Right, so okay, well, that's good. That's a positive.
And I said to him, "Oh yeah, mate, we already corrected that on the next podcast."
No, we didn't.
Wait, no, hang on.
I like it.
Hang on.
So that was on
what
the
do you
last
mean?
one.
No, what do you mean? No, we didn't. We just did.
Yeah, but that wasn't the last one.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know how far into the future we are, does he?
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Clever.
So yeah, so that future pod hadn't happened yet. It was his future. It was our present, as I was explaining
Christ.
it.
It's Tenet all
It's
over
now
again.
our past. Yeah, I feel like fucking
Shit.
Christopher Nolan playing with space and time. So yeah, so there you go.
I do have another previous episode. Well, it's not a correction, so it doesn't quite fill in the corrections, but clarification.
Oh yeah.
So we were talking in the Martian episode, and we were wondering about Mars and their naming of their chocolate bars. Mars, Galaxy, Milky Way. Listener got in touch on the comments on Spotify, doing it in the proper way. So Kirsty Johnson, thank you. And Snickers doesn't fit, right? Turns out that the Mars family are big horsey people, and Snickers is the name of their favourite dead horse. Wait, no, it's their favourite horse that died. I don't know, but either way, it's
Yeah, I think
you know what I mean.
I think we're getting at the same thing there.
yeah. But pretty great name for a horse, Snickers.
So, but
Solid.
They'd like, is this only the UK Mars family or something?
Oh
no, Snickers is Snickers, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you're thinking
It's
Marathon.
Mars and no,
Marathon.
Snickers is Marathon.
It was Marathon.
It still is Marathon in
Is
the
it?
States. Yeah,
Is it?
yeah. Is it?
Is it?
No, I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm gonna back away from that comment.
Yeah. So I thought Snickers, pretty great name for a horse generally.
Yes.
I mean, they are terrifying psychos with death in their eyes, but
Yes.
Snickers, maybe that was a nice dead horse.
Yeah. No. Fantastic. Love it. Well, we're harking back to previous pods. This is about Lost in Translation, which of course is still in the future.
Yes.
Yeah. Unless you're listening to this, in which case that's now in the past.
Yeah. Which they are.
Yeah.
So it is.
Yeah. Time isn't linear. So yeah, Lost in Translation. So I've joked before about how others will say something better than I do and use far fewer words whilst they're at it.
I mean, not a joke.
Yeah, it's not a joke. Yeah,
No.
it's not a joke. But if you allow me to carry on joking about it,
Carry on.
I can at least have a laugh about it instead of feeling the crippling decision.
Sure. Okay. Fine.
Crippling indecision. Anyway, I have to say that I didn't think that professional half-wit Theo Von would be one of them.
So I don't know who Theo Von is.
Oh, great! One of the wordsmith, absolute wordsmith he is.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just does. He does this. I think he's like a podcast. I think he was on MTV back in the day.
Okay.
He plays like this sort of redneck character, but I'm not really sure how much he's playing the character and how much he is just an American redneck. Anyway, he popped on my TikTok feed.
Okay.
And we were talking about loneliness and Lost in Translation, and you were saying, well, I'm not sure. You were looking at the film through a slightly different lens. You were looking at it through both of the two people in the relationship and trying to balance it. And you were saying, how can they be lonely when there's so much to do in Tokyo and that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Anyway, as I say, this great wordsmith, Theo Von, he said, actually, it's not that grandiose. I just really needed to clear my throat then.
Right. I thought you were just really preparing and building up to it. Okay, fine, good.
He said, what people don't understand about loneliness, it's not that you don't have anybody, it's that you feel nobody has you.
Oh, deep.
Yeah, innit? I thought, there you go. That's, we took, I don't know how long I spoke to try to get that point across. Long time.
Yeah.
And
to be fair to you, I don't think you achieved that either, so well done.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. You messaged me in the week, Carl.
Yes. I've walked out the cinema again, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do tell. Because this is a rare trip to a cinema.
It is a rare trip to the
for
cinema.
you.
Yeah.
Well, for us generally, but for you in this instance.
So it was with my good lady wife.
Yeah.
And she, by the way, so I've told you I've walked out the cinema twice. She also said, we've walked out the cinema before, haven't we? Like me and her. Now, the twice I've walked out the cinema were not with my good lady wife. So there may even be a third one there. We couldn't remember what film it was.
It's becoming a bit of a habit.
Yeah, we couldn't remember what film it was. If I'm honest, I still don't think that happened. I think it's just two. And now this third one.
Do you think she was feeling left out and she's now inventing a situation so that she's included in your life and stories?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, she doesn't listen to the podcast, so she wouldn't
Doesn't she?
necessarily.
She tells you she doesn't.
Yeah, that's true. So we went to the cinema on Saturday night, and the title popped up, and I just thought, absolutely not for me. I'm not having this. So I walked outside until the trailer for Metropolis had finished. And then I went back inside and sat down, which I sat down halfway through the trailer for the Joker 2, actually.
And you got the title of the film wrong, right there?
Is it Megalopolis?
There we go.
Yeah. So it flashes up.
So you don't want to see the trailer, so you just walked out until...
I don't know anything about it. I really want to go see it at the cinema. And I'm just determined to not find out. So it pops up Francis Ford Coppola. I'm like, Francis Ford Coppola, that's exciting. Then it comes up
He's done nothing
Megalopolis,
else
and I'm
in 20
like,
years.
that's that film I don't want to know anything about. Quick, get out. So yeah, there we go.
Your little tease.
Just for a trailer. Yeah, I thought you'd like that. I know. I went to see The Critic.
And?
Ian McKellen, Mark Strong, Gemma Arterton.
Yeah.
I'll say this. It is incredible what a better mood for watching a film actually going to the cinema puts you in. Because it may well be shit, but I was well into it.
Yeah.
And it's got pretty mixed reviews. I thought it was quite good. Yeah, not bad.
Would you recommend?
I'd recommend it to you.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd recommend it to everybody. I could see how people could find it quite boring. It's quite slow paced. But yeah, it was kind of fun. Peek behind the curtain. Simon holding his hand up whilst the train goes past, as if we're going to cut that out.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I've been listening back, obviously, to the episodes, and the train is really loud in some of them. So I was like, perfect point, Carl. You can just stop talking because you'd reach the end of your sentence, let the train go past, and carry on. But okay, never mind. Fine.
Yeah.
So I've watched a couple of movies. I'm not really going to talk about much. I'm not going to talk much about them.
Fucking easy for you to say.
Indeed. I mean, another peek behind the curtain. One Pump Walker failed today, didn't he?
He did.
The intro tripped over my words.
Butchered it.
Absolutely. I've let myself down. I've let my family down. Most of all, I've let the listeners down. Yeah.
The thing is, right?
That's right.
Between us, you're the only one that can enunciate anyway. And if you're not bringing that to the party,
yeah, exactly. That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
I've got nothing else.
I talk shit, but it's clear.
So I watched a couple of movies. I'm not going to talk a lot about because they are going to make future appearances on the podcast. I think.
Oh.
So there were two that you had watched and said you liked, and I went, I'm not sure I'm going to like this. Let's have a watch.
Interesting.
And I think I was right. So yeah, maybe I've got a little bit of further reflection, and we'll chat off.
Interesting.
Pod.
Do we get the titles?
Escape Plan.
Oh yeah.
And The Mummy, the shit version.
Oh, the Tom Cruise one.
Yes, the shit version. Yes.
Tommy C.
Tommy C. Indeed. I mean, there was a big long list of Tom Cruise films. I was like, I'll go with that one first. Least likely to like that one. So yeah, I think we will be talking about them again. But spoiler.
Okay.
Both not great.
Yeah, well, I'll not go into the films I've watched too much either, but I did re-watch 2 films this week as well as...
Have you finished?
Watch The Critic. The Black Dahlia? No.
Okay, cool. Good. Why would you?
Yeah, why would I when I can watch Ronin instead?
Oh, yeah, rewatch.
Yeah. It's so good.
I've not seen that in years and years and years.
It is. I looked at the budget. I think it was about 50, 60 million. It is one of those...
Same as the Thing.
Yeah, it keeps going up. It is one of those mid-budget Hollywood films that just they're not getting made today, and it was so much fun, so good as well. And then I rewatched Alien vs Predator.
Okay, you said you were
Very fun
thinking
in a
about
different
going to
way.
do that. Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna watch Alien vs Predator Requiem next, and then I think I'm gonna
go for the old Romulus, do you think? Or?
Yeah, this is what I'm working up to. I'm going to then start again with the Aliens.
Yeah. You might still be able to catch it in the cinema if you hurry up.
Yeah, we'll see about that. So yeah, all good stuff.
Carl.
Yes.
I'm thirsty.
All right.
You know what it's time for?
Unveil the ale.
It's time to unveil the ale. you could start moving.
You'd think there'd be a beer called Whiplash, wouldn't you?
You would.
I mean, there probably is.
I mean, it probably is, just not that it's on the co-op.
Beer called Drumming or...
Yeah. Monkey. You could say it's a drumming monkey. It's a monkey.
Yeah, I don't know.
What we got?
So, and I don't think there's a beer in the film either.
No. It was whiskey.
Yeah.
Some Coke. As in the drink, not the hard drugs. That would have been a different movie.
Right. Siren Brewery.
Oh, okay.
Soundwave IPA.
Okay. All right, I see where you're going. Yeah. On the money.
Yeah, pretty straight down the line. What are we talking here?
That's one of their classics, isn't it?
Yeah,
Soundwave
one of the
IPA,
core
they've
range,
got that
5.6%. It's been a while since I've had it. I seem to remember it's quite nice. It's
You say 6.5?
5.6.
Oh, wow. Dyslexia much? Jesus.
So very much more in the, as I remember it, the West Coast rather than the New England bucket.
We shall see.
So
well
I
unveiled.
suppose you want a glass as well?
Sure, as is tradition. Just as is also tradition now, just the... oh, that's cold. Thanks, sir. Right, here we go. So, purple can, the old Siren on the front, Soundwave APA.
Yeah, I mean...
Tropical hop heaven, eminently drinkable, full of flavour, subtle, with bitterness. With bitterness, let's see about that.
I do like a bitter IPA, I really do.
We both do. Although I do also like the old New England.
Good, yeah.
All right, let's get things started with a bit of an introduction to today's movie, which is Whiplash. So, before that though, reminder of our ratings. Simple 5-point scale, all together now. You either really don't like it, you don't like it, you're ambivalent, you like it, or you really like it. So, let's start off with our general impressions. Who likes it? Who doesn't? Carl, where are you?
Really don't like this film.
Did you say really, really?
No, well...
Just really?
Yeah, just really.
Just one really?
Only because that's all the scale allows for.
Right. So right at the bottom end of the really don't like. Interesting. Well, this is a rarity, Carl, because I really like it. It is 5 degrees of disagreement. No, wait, is that right? 4 degrees. Shit.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What is it?
Before?
4? Can't have 5.
No.
It would be 5 if it was up to you.
Yeah, but I mean, what does that mean?
What do you mean?
Well, they're just degrees of something, aren't they? There's no inherent value to each one. Like, we could split them up and say there are 10 points on our scale.
Yeah, but it's the max. I'm trying to
That'd
say
be 9 degrees.
It's,
but
it's the maximum
the gap's
amount.
no bigger. You've just put more increments in between.
I was more saying it's the maximum amount, and you really, really don't like it, so it could be 5 because you don't like it that much.
No, it doesn't work like that.
But no, I'm just
Could
saying,
be 5
it was
if we
just
put more in, but it doesn't
emphasising
change
the fact that you really, really don't like it, and it was just it doesn't matter.
God.
Jesus, is this what you're going to be like for
Do you
the
want
rest
to talk
of the
about a
episode?
different film?
Oh, really? You really want to talk about the film down here? You know how long it's taken me to try and convince Carl to do this movie? Well, since we started, because it was the original impetus for this podcast.
It was, and actually, the mock-up I wrote for that.
Have you still got it?
I've still got it. We should just do that instead, because that would be much more
No,
amusing.
but do you reckon we could share that?
We could just do it. Should we just record it at the end, the mock-up,
Yeah.
as a separate little thing?
We could do that as a little special.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, I really like it. Okay. Carl, what don't you like?
I don't like modern pop music because you get like 2 flavours of it: rehashed older stuff, or the original stuff is so fucking bland to the point. To me, it just sounds like music.
And the film?
Right. Let's get this out of the way. See if we can't have a laugh about it afterwards.
Jesus.
Let me give you my history with this film. Like I did with Star Wars.
Sure.
When we're talking about that, just a bit of context. So I knew nothing of this film.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere, I guess, in the recesses of my mind, like I know there's a film called Whiplash, but when it popped up on my TikTok feed, maybe 3-4 years ago, I go, oh, that's that Whiplash film. Oh, it's got Miles Teller in it. I read the caption. Oh, that's actually Teller drumming. It goes on. Oh, that's cool. It says he learned to play drums so he could do this film. Oh, it's impressive. So I watched it. I hated it. I nearly turned it off, which would have upset you.
Cardinals in.
Yeah.
It just generally, I mean.
And I ended up finishing it out of like a morbid sense of curiosity. Like, it can't keep going on like this. There's got to be a change here. There's got to be something that happens.
That's what she said.
Yeah. The ending didn't rescue it. I flicked up IMDb to read some reviews. This was pre my Letterboxd era.
Mm-hmm.
Could not believe how highly rated it was. Spoke to my friends. Thought, I'll get some sense out of these guys, surely. They all loved it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell's going on? I just can't believe it, because I hate this film, right? And I want you to understand that this is not like some edgy, contrarian, like rallying against a popular film. I didn't find that out till afterwards. I am genuinely fucking annoyed this film exists. I think I can put it into two buckets.
Cool.
I hate this film's message. I hate what it's about. And I think we'll talk more about that in production. Because
at least one or two of the sections, probably.
Yeah, I'm coming at that from a sort of decision point of view. And then I also think it is a bad film, right? And I think we'll talk about this in plot. So I think you might going to say, you're sort of missing this, that, and the other. And then I'm going to say,
we'll get to it.
Mate, this film isn't good enough to get those things across.
Okay. So I think this is going to be less of a film.
Best of luck to you.
Less of a film we discuss, and more of a film that each of us talks independently about it. But anyway, why I really like it, Carl, it's similar to you. It fits into two kind of buckets for me. So for me, firstly, it's all about the experience of watching the movie, right? I found it intense. I would say it has almost unyielding intensity, unpleasant characters doing unpleasant things in a deeply unhealthy culture that had me hooked. Couldn't look away from it from minute one straight until that last symbol is crashed. I also think it works on reflection on a couple of levels. So as that experience of just going with it and getting lost in that environment, but also does on reflection, I think it does get you asking questions about motivation and the quest for perfection and the justification and excuses that abusers have used for the suffering that they cause as well. So I think there are depths for me, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's move on to the cast then. So I'm going to start. We usually start with like the lead character, but I'm not going to start with the lead character today. I'm going to start with JK Simmons as Fletcher, who
that's interesting in itself.
Won the Best Supporting Actor. So
that's wrong.
Indeed. But I mean, Miles Teller is in every single scene, right? So technically, probably the lead in that sense. But JK Simmons, Fletcher, he's won 47 awards for this role. It's quite a lot. Didn't realise there was that many awards out there. It's a bit ridiculous when you think about it. But hey, I think it goes to show widely appreciated critically. I found him a tour de force. You couldn't take your eyes off him. What about you, Carl?
I completely agree.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been a bit upset if you'd not got his performance as being.
I know this
good.
is.
That's good.
I know this is a bit of a joke. I am a fair man, etc., etc. But like I said at the start, this isn't some contrarian rubbish. This is what I actually think. I do think about these things.
A lot.
Too much really. Even when I'm, dare I say, even wrong sometimes, it's just what I was thinking at that time. But I recognise when something's right, even in a movie that I fucking hate, and he is phenomenal.
He's a supervillain, right?
Yeah, supervillain's a good word. I've written down a lot in my notes. Monster, but yeah, same.
Monster, yeah,
same sort of thing. Yeah,
yeah, and I think he really, he really embodies it. That manipulative villain of a character, rightly lauded for it. I think he's great generally as an actor. I quite enjoy him in quite a lot of things.
I agree.
And he's in a lot of things.
Yeah, not much as a lead.
No.
Which is why it's so shitty that he's been... I mean, I know in...
It'll be putting him forward into a award they think he can win as well, remember?
I was thinking more, is it because you've got the typical antagonist-protagonist thing, and he's obviously the antagonist, so therefore that de facto makes him not the lead.
Yeah.
But for me, he's the soul of this soulless movie. Pick that one out. He's great, Simmons. Really like him.
So what about Miles Teller, Andrew Neiman?
There's a bit of a touch of the Matt Damons about
Teller?
Miles Teller, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Very much.
And remind us what you think about Matt Damon?
Well, I think he's fairly bland as an actor. I think he's got a very middle-class sort of smugness to him that comes across in his performances, which is why I absolutely don't buy him in certain roles.
Must buy him in this one then.
Yes, because like I say, I think he's got a touch of that about him, Teller, and that makes him a very good casting choice for this role. However, and maybe this is slightly unfair because he's next to Simmons, he's only okay in this. I don't think he's doing anything brilliant here.
I thought he's definitely not at the level, but I thought he was still thoroughly convincing in his role of it. He has quite a range of stuff to go through, like the smugness. Definitely gets the smugness in there at points. The pain, the tormented, the angry, the upset, slightly psychopathic obsession bit as well, and pretty unpleasant kind of character as well. He's not exactly a lovable character that I don't think I'm necessarily rooting for him throughout the movie either.
I mean, as we are wont to do, straying into other sections, I think a lot of what you've just said I don't get from his performance, and I wouldn't necessarily blame him because a lot of that just doesn't land for me at all. I think there are issues with that, but yeah, he's all right. I think he's okay.
You mentioned in your little intro that you'd read that he'd learnt to play the drums for it.
Oh yeah, I know this was all a load of shit, which again is a problem I've got with the production side of things.
He's been drumming since he was 15.
Yeah,
that did take additional lessons, 4 hours a day, 3 days a week, to prepare for it.
He learned to act how to play jazz drums, is what he did.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean the things.
He's not playing the drums in the film.
Well, he's
40%
of the drums you hear are him.
He's
playing to a recording.
He's only playing in the. Look, don't get me wrong. Is he obviously a competent drummer? Yes, he is.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter.
But you're only actually hearing him drumming in the practice scenes where he's fucking up. The actual pieces, that's not him. And you can tell a lot of the time if you know what you're looking for. And I would say, if you're looking closely, you don't really need to know what you're looking for. There are literally sometimes he's hitting a tom and you hear a cymbal and vice versa.
Yeah. Does that matter though?
Well, no. I'll come on to why it does when you roll it with a load of other things.
Okay.
But I accept that, you can be nitpicky about that sort of thing.
Does make some excellent drumming sex faces though.
Yes. And funnily enough, I've read a review of his performance from a jazz drummer who called that out as one of the stronger things, one of the things he did get right. So it's funny that you should say that.
Well, there you go. Have you got any other actors you wanted to call out?
No, I don't think there's anyone worth it. It sounds like you maybe have.
The only one, and that's Andrew's dad, so Neiman's dad.
I knew you'd like the dad.
Well, why? Why do you think I like the dad?
You love the daddy stuff.
I do love the daddy stuff. I thought he was a great,
you've
but
got
not perfect.
And you've got two daddies here.
Dad.
You've got actual nice daddy, and you've got mean drum daddy.
I know. Just let them hug it out.
Yeah.
Fuck it out. I don't know. Wherever the sexual tensions
come
from.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, Paul Reiser. One of those actors you see and you're like, he looks familiar. No idea what he's been in.
And I haven't, but if I was going to recast him, it would be, and I forget his name now, which really annoys me. He's died not too long ago. He was in Sopranos, but his most famous role is the dad out of Home Alone.
Oh, yeah, him. Yeah.
John Hurt. There we go. It's just come to me.
John Hurt? No.
William Hurt. Right. John Hurt's the other guy in Orwell's 1984.
Is he called William Hurt?
Yeah.
I think that's another actor. I don't think... Not in Home Alone.
Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not William Hurt.
No.
Where did that come from? Is it John Hurt?
No,
Is it going to be John Hurt?
Definitely not
What's
John
going
Hurt.
on here? No, John Hurt is the 1984 guy, so I got that right at least. Is it Hurt then? See, I'm just Googling actors' names when I really should be.
You should be just going to, yeah.
It's John Hurd. It's John Hurd.
Okay, you weren't far off.
So I wasn't too far off.
No.
Yeah.
But it was very confusing for a second.
There you go.
What version of
I
Home
haven't
Alone
recast
you've
it.
seen?
If I would, John Hurd, same energy.
Yeah, not John Hurt.
No.
No.
Hurd.
Different.
Oh, yeah.
What other recasting have you got?
Well, Teller and Simmons.
Sure.
I've got a couple of names for Simmons. I was sort of putting them down. I wasn't entirely happy with them. But I thought, well, yeah, I could see a version of that. I've got a problematic one first. We like that. Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
I can see Kevin Spacey being, when he's been sarky, giving the jibes, that nasty sort of...
I could see that.
Sticking with a nasty thing, but altogether more menacing.
Sinister, yeah.
Robert Patrick. The T-1000, of course.
Yeah. No, don't think so.
Yeah, but the one I really like, which is a bit of a curveball, but once I'd thought of him, I was like, oh, he could do it, and so much of it is in his voice.
Okay.
Because he's not even necessarily menacing. He's just got such a powerful voice. But he's got some chops as well, so he could do it. Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright, okay.
Yeah, like I could really
Could
see.
he do
Jeffrey
the
Wright.
loud?
He could do the loud. I can see him getting in someone's face as well, especially. So you do know the difference. Yeah, with that voice that's just. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. He does have a good voice.
He's got a great voice. Yeah.
I quite like the Jeffrey Wright. So mine for JK Simmons. So I had two.
Ed Harris.
No.
Just pick a load of bald men. Robert Duvall.
So I went Bryan Cranston.
I looked at Bryan Cranston. Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout at all.
And then another one, a bit
good actor.
Bit more of a curveball, I think. A bit less straight down the line. Stanley Tucci.
Another bald man, but
different take on it. Different kind of turn, but I think he'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more flamboyant. He might be a bit more, flamboyant.
Yeah, not bad. But
it does.
I think I like the Cranston one because I did toy with that myself.
Yeah, I think
he's a good actor, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, he's a good actor. So I did realise I went a little bit cool dads from other movies there with Stanley Tucci and JK Simmons with the old Juno with JK Simmons. You seen Juno?
Yeah, I've seen Juno. Yeah.
Easy A. Have you seen Easy A?
No.
Stanley Tucci, great dad. Great cool dad. I'm a fan of a cool dad.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's what I want to be and never, ever going to be. What about Neiman for...
I've only got one name here.
Ooh, me too. It won't be the same one.
No. Ooh, I wonder if I could guess yours.
No. I couldn't guess mine.
You couldn't guess yours. Oh, so it's not Timothée Chalamet.
It is!
Is it actually Timothée Chalamet? Yeah, too soft, Timothée.
I don't know.
Nah, he's not enough.
You haven't seen Dune, have you?
No.
He can be pretty.
I've seen the trailer and the pathetic bit where he finally accepts that he has to lead this uprising, and it's like, oh, give it a rest, kid.
Well done for judging the whole film on the trailer.
No, my name, honestly, not a million miles away from Timothée. Shia LaBeouf.
He looks quite like Miles Teller, doesn't he? Or Miles Teller looks quite like Shia LaBeouf.
He can definitely be a conceited arsehole.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf's a good shout. I mean, he can definitely be a conceited arsehole. Yeah. And he can act it as well.
Yes, can't he? Yeah, they're like the same age. I think they're a few months apart.
Oh, really?
As well, yeah.
I thought.
Well, Shia's been sort of, I would say,
he's been around longer.
He has made a splash a bit earlier in his career and a bit more, few more leading roles and stuff. Yeah. So there you go, Shia LaBeouf.
I could see Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, good shout.
Yeah, I'm really pleased I found you Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, I didn't think you get it.
Well, because I thought about it too, and I was like, nah, he can't do it. And then I found Shia. I was like, yes, that's the arsehole Timothée wants to be. That's the arsehole Timothée wishes he was.
There we go. Let's move on to production. Carl got through his first bit, onto the second one. All right, so This is directed by Damien Chazelle. I'm going to go for Chazelle. I think that's right. I'm not over or under pronouncing it. I think that's right.
Chazelle.
Chazelle.
Damien Chazelle.
Damien Chazelle, indeed.
Well, he's French, isn't he? So it would be Damien Chazelle.
Is he French, though?
No, he's fucking born in the US, isn't he?
Yeah. So his other movies, have you seen any of his other stuff since this? La La Land?
I've not seen La La Land. I think there's one on his list I've seen. Keep going.
So La La Land, Best Director winner. Absolute shit show, Best Picture not quite winner. That was the one with the...
Oh, where they announced the wrong thing.
Which I keep forgetting happened and it still amuses me. First Man.
Yes, I've seen that and I like that.
See, I've not seen that and I want to see it and I don't know why I didn't see it. I wanted to see it at the cinema. I didn't go to see it at the cinema. I'm angry I didn't go to see it at the cinema because that's where you wanted to watch it. That's where you should be watching it.
I didn't see it at the cinema. You're dead right. Missed opportunity, but you know who's in it, don't you?
Oh, well, Emily Blunt.
Daddy Chandler.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Oh, now I really want to see it. Oh, excellent. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, we're good now.
Yeah, well, you just had a moment of it.
Just having a little thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
A little thing.
I understand that one.
Now, have you seen Babylon, which is his only other one?
Nope.
So, completely passed me by. Didn't know it existed until I was looking through the filmography. I might seek it out. It's a snappy 3 hours 9 minutes. Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie. About excess, and it looks like it's maybe a shitter version of Wolf of Wall Street, or a better version of Wolf of Wall Street, depending on your
isn't
angle.
it? No, I think it's very different to that. Yeah, I have vague memories actually of the movie poster, bizarrely.
I think it's like about Hollywood excess and stuff in the 30s or something. So
yeah, it's a period piece.
A period piece, indeed. I might check it out though.
Yeah,
it's not been massively well reviewed.
Sort of interesting.
Yeah, looks good. I watched the trailer. Looks alright. It's got Tobey Maguire in it, looking very interesting. So
okay, I've got a lot of time for Bradley Pitts, honestly.
Yeah, and Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I've got a lot of time for Margot Robbie.
But he also did Whiplash. Have you seen Whiplash?
Yeah, shite.
No, the short 17-minute.
Yes, here we go. It is with your wanky fucking knowledge.
It's not wanky if it's just facts.
Well, I feel like in a minute you're going to go, do you know why it couldn't be nominated for Best Original Screenplay? Because it was actually an adapted screenplay because he
well, that's true.
he made the Whiplash short film so to get funding for the full film. So the Academy ruled against that original screenplay. And of course he also had JK Simmons in the short and then the studio wanted to change Fletcher, but Damien was, no, I must have Damien. Yeah. Was that what you were going to say all that, were you?
No, I was going to say all that. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
What do you want
to
talk
talk about? Did I mess anything out? Yeah.
No, it's fine.
No, good.
No, you carry on.
That's all I've got.
No.
That's all I know.
So you've seen First Man. Cool.
Yes, good.
All right. What do you think of production, Carl?
Listen, this is a fabulous looking film.
Ooh.
It's a really good looking film. I don't know exactly what's going on because it's a well trodden thing by now, but we don't know what we're talking about, do we? So I'm gonna say I'm gonna throw the color palette out there.
Sure.
Should I throw that out there?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know what they did. I don't know.
How would you describe it?
Good. It wasn't sepia, but it was something of this sort of the yellowy orange about it.
Yep.
I thought it was great. The way they've used shadows, fantastic. We talked about, you used supervillain, I said monster, but the way they're building a monster and they frame him, Fletcher, in a lot of shots, his introduction especially. Yeah. Fantastic.
Through the door that they do.
Really good. And you talked about intensity of this film, and a lot of that is coming from those production choices. And how that framing works and makes everything feel close and dark and what have you. So, very good.
So, I want to explain how I first watched this film. I think I have explained to you. So,
on a plane? On a plane?
No, not on a plane. That would be awful, wouldn't it? That would not be good. It would be awful for you because you fucking hate it. But, it would be awful generally way to watch this film.
Yeah.
But how I first watched this movie was in the Odeon Screen Unseen, where you turn up, you don't know what you're going to watch. It is a new movie or a future movie, and you just sit back and watch it. and it was an amazing experience. Like I thought it was. I've seen a few in the Screen Unseens. This was by far the best one. But quite honestly, I think I should watch all movies like this because it's just a brilliant way. No expectations.
It is a great way.
You just
to
watch it. You're not in a mood for anything. You just see what it is and comes up. Interestingly, though, it's produced by Blumhouse. I don't know if you know the producers, and they usually do like horrors, like Blumhouse, sort of fairly low to mid budget horror films. So I was like, oh shit, fucking horror film, Jesus Christ! But then not far off a horror film in a way, in some of the things it does. But I remember distinctly, and on a rewatch, just the way it opened. Like it opens on the black, and then you've got Whiplash comes up, and then that drum building off screen, and then that first shot of him through the corridor in the practice room, drumming, and I don't know, it just grabbed me a bit, and I couldn't tell you what they were doing there, like why that is something that would grab your attention. I don't know, but very good. And then, as you say, with the introduction of Fletcher, the way that they introduced the character, I thought was just brilliantly done, and you get that immediate, if incomplete, sense of the character, the respect / fear / I don't know, something else that he has, and that other people, and how other people act when he's around or when he might be around, and all of that.
It's a real presence.
Yeah, and you get that all in the first, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. So it really sets a tone. So I think it scores points for me on that. Shot in 19 days, Carl. 19 days. Whole movie in 19 days.
I mean,
how did he do it?
Yeah, it looks like it was shot in 19 days. I don't mean that as a jibe. It is just it's not a one setting movie, but it's close.
It's lean.
Yeah,
in terms of
it looks a very tight sort of low budget production, which there's nothing wrong with because you execute that well, as they have here in terms of how it looks and what have you. It's fine, you know.
In that 19 days as well, they spent nearly a whole day on a scene that got cut as well.
Yeah, I guess that's the
come on,
that's the thing. Do you know what the scene was?
It was a scene in Fletcher's office.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was maybe a follow-on for maybe where he walks in and he's crying on the phone.
Yeah. And
stuff. So I think maybe that was an extended.
Yeah.
A bit of that.
Yeah. The one he actually cared about dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
Because he was talented. So his death was sad.
Yeah, for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The film was also shot, edited, and submitted to Sundance in 10 weeks. You can barely turn that fucking around for a podcast episode. Jesus, come on, pull your finger out.
Listen, the problem is we don't know what we're doing.
There's probably more than one person doing it as well, to be fair, you know.
Yeah.
And one person going, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? It's probably not that helpful.
No,
hey, that's my project management style. Fuck you.
Yeah. I wonder if they also had another job. Like an actual job. I say another job. Another's the wrong way of putting it, isn't it?
Yeah.
A job. Yeah,
which they were actually getting paid for.
Yeah. Okay. Can I talk about some stuff I don't like?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
So this is my problem number 1, right?
Okay. How long's the list?
How long's the list?
Yeah, things you don't like. You said problem number 1. How many problems have we got coming?
I got 2.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Which you'd know if you were paying attention in my my opening.
You called them buckets before.
All right. Okay. Bucket 1.
Thanks.
Right. Which I'm gonna call story. Right.
Sure.
I know we're in production right now.
Yes, but
I'm trying to separate plot and story.
Okay. Good luck.
Yeah. I'll fail, but I'm going to give it a go. Right. And actually, the first line of my note says, "As always, I'm going to touch on plot here." So
sorry. Why has Obi-Wan come around now?
You think it's not the Randy Alec Guinness again, is it? So, yeah, I'm going to touch on plot, but try to take what I'm saying sort of has been about production choices rather than talking about what actually happens, because I have beef with what actually happens. Okay. We will save that to the plot.
Okay.
All right. Talk to me about... I feel like, do you know what? You said at the start, this might be us sort of less having a discussion and more just talking about the film with our opposing viewpoints.
Potentially.
I'm not sure that's actually the case, because you did say the word abuse.
100%.
Right, which is interesting because a lot of the positive reviews aren't talking about abuse.
What are they talking about?
They're talking about as if succeeding in the face of adversity, tough love. That's what this film's about. And I think that's a crock of shit, because I think this is nothing more than abuse. I think the relationship they have and the approach that Fletcher has is nothing more than abuse. And I get really annoyed that they have chosen to go with the tough love approach and I guess make that sort of successful, and that's there's some value in this, because I don't see anything else other than this abusive relationship.
Yeah, I mean, it's the central tenet of of the movie, right? It's all about that abusive relationship and how.
But they're framing it as tough love, though.
The movie's framing it as.
Yeah, so it's not just look how this guy's abusing him. It is.
Where's the
look how this guy's abusing him? There's a reason he's doing it, and the pupil appreciates this, and he's going to keep working to try earn his teacher, his mentor, his whatever, his approval.
I mean, yes, there is aspects of that.
I mean, I think the movie's doing that anyway, but don't forget they actually verbalise that in the bar scene at the end when he talks about, I'm just trying to find the next Buddy Rich, and this is how I'm going to motivate him. Can you imagine if, what does he say? Can you imagine if somebody just patted you on the head and said, good job? What? Fuck off. That's not how this works.
Yeah, 100%. Right. I just have to navigate to my part of the notes where he talked about that, seems you brought it up. So give me 1 second.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So, because you brought it up, we're going to be all over the place. We should just combine these two fucking sections. Why do we even try and separate them? So, on that scene, there are no two words more harmful than good job.
Yeah, right. That's it.
So, what's interesting with that is I had simultaneous conflicting thoughts on that, right? One was just like, does he have a point with that? Is it actually, the whole culture of positive reinforcement, always looking on the positive thing, is it actually not giving some people that need that motivation and kick up the arse something? But then I kind of landed on, but also no. I think this is the perfect illustration of his justification, whether to himself or others, for his abusive behavior. So does he think he's trying to build the next jazz great? Or is he just using that as an excuse, either to himself, he's telling himself that, or to others, that that's what he's doing? And really, it's a completely selfish thing that he's trying to do, because he wants it to reflect on him regardless, right? So whatever he's doing, the effect is to either get his kicks from the power trip and the abuse and all of that, or it's, and if it actually does work, right, and I get this great jazz musician as a result of this tough love, if you want to put it that way, of actually creating something, because you have someone who's got the talent to be able to go on and do it, then he's going to be like, oh, look at me, I'm a fantastic inspiration or whatever. So is he lying to himself? Is he aware of it? Is there somewhere in between? And that's where it kind of got me sort of question it. And in that scene where he's talking, remember, this is preemptive, or preempting before the point where essentially he sets him up, right? He's setting him up to get his revenge as well. So is he even being entirely honest, or is he trying to lull him into a false sense of security to then essentially set him up for his payoff? Now, I'm going to come on to later, and I'm not going to jump there, where I think there's a little inconsistency which bothers me a little bit at the end, but I'm not going to jump to that.
The thing is, I think we need to establish something, because all of that stuff you've just said about, is there something in this? Is there sort of a middle ground and let's explore that. You're implying that there's some depth to this idea. Tough love is bollocks. As an idea, it is absolute bollocks. It is almost always perpetuated by the aggressor, right? It is something that I think of like something that I think a lot of people can relate to, parenting.
Yep.
Right? I think sometimes it's really hard to create a nurturing environment for your children.
Especially when they're being such dicks.
Absolutely, because it requires some patience, it requires empathy. And, this is the thing that literally loads of studies have shown, no, it's all about that. That is far more effective than the sort of tough love nonsense. Do you know what's really easy to do? Be a cunt. It's really easy to just toss all that in the bin and just go, well, it's good for them. I'll just be a cunt and I'll just say, it's good. Yeah, they'll learn. They'll get there. And I feel that, like, tough love as an idea is always perpetuated by the aggressor, and it's fucking baseless. So the idea that you can drop this as a device into a movie and then say, but is there something in this? No, I'm not buying it at all. Right. So I don't get that depth that you are sort of musing on there at all. It does not land for me.
And I think for linking it to the film and the characters, right? So you said that Andrew is really wants to please him and stuff. I mean, that's classic like hero worship and abusive culture that comes up, right? They inspire this like he's going to make me great. I want to please him. I'll put up with anything because. I mean, you see that in the dinner table scene, right, where his motivation and skewed logic on life and what's important is completely laid bare, and he's a 19-year-old kid, and he's essentially buying into this message that the JK Simmons character is giving, just like, no, I can make you great, you just have to do what I say. The interesting thing about the whole thing is like he's a conductor, he's not a teacher, he's not teaching him how to drum, just fucking shouting at him. He's not actually all he's providing, or he thinks he's providing, and Neiman seems to react to it initially, is practice harder.
Well, look, this I can segue into my next sort of sub point on my main problem of the production.
There's 2 buckets with 18 sub buckets in
it. Oh
each.
yeah, this is I said. What do you mean a list? There's a list. Because the thing is, I think when you're talking about that depth, and you've talked about Neiman and his motivations, I don't think the film is doing enough to be taken seriously. This also ties into what I was saying about the drumming thing, right? This film repeatedly misses the mark on what music's about. You just said as well, he's not a teacher. He's a conductor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and his only thing seems to be turning these kids into robots, doing exactly what he says perfectly every time.
His tempo.
That is not what music is about at all, right? There's absolute bollocks when it comes to musical expression. Jazz in particular. Like, if you were going to pick a single genre where you need to be technically proficient, of course you do, but where it's about sort of expression and joy, it's jazz. But the thing is, they're difficult. They're like nebulous concepts to get across in a movie. So this movie instead, from a production point of view, goes, well, we'll just go fucking robotic instead. We'll go with something that people can understand, and we'll go, he just needs to get it perfectly in time, and he needs to practice harder and harder and harder, and to the point where his fucking fingers are bleeding. By the way, again, when it comes to music, you get to a point of diminishing returns with practice. Under fatigue, ridiculous. You know the best thing you can do when you're fatigued? Stop practicing.
Well, yeah.
Rest up and fucking practice tomorrow.
This is a movie.
Yeah, but do you know what this is? This is a movie for people who don't understand music.
Yeah.
But it's masquerading as an intelligent film about music, and I hate it for that, because it's trying to convey some depth that simply isn't there, and it's almost like pulling the wool over people's eyes, if to go, this is jazz, this is like sort of high society. You wouldn't understand. You just need to understand that this is a movie and this is how it works. And it's all rubbish. I should qualify my musicianship as well, by the way, because I don't want to come across like I know what I'm talking about. My level of musicianship is very, very low. But it's enough for me to... Huh?
I can beat you on that.
Look, I'm not much further in front of you, but it's enough for me to be able to read things that serious musicians have written and go, yeah, okay, I get what you're talking about. And it really annoys me that this film is somehow seen as deep when I see it as a very, very, very shallow, shonky film.
I don't know. I just like it feels like it's missing the like it's a movie that's set in that world and in that thing, but it doesn't mean that it has to be. I don't know.
Sure, but why does it have to go for all the silly tropes that make no sense, like bleeding fingers? I mean, it's crazy.
Well, the idea, I think, that it's trying to show is that he's set him on this path through the abuse of being completely unhealthy habits of doing it. Right? It's not showing that like it's not a sales pitch and going, this is how you become great. It's showing that this is what a man can do to someone else in a position of power. You can drive him to do incredibly stupid things, unhealthy things, and create this world view that is completely
okay. But I don't think that's there either, because we're saying, look, you don't know about this world. So on one hand, you're saying, so it doesn't matter that I'm going to tell you something that's not quite true. But I am going to tell you that thing. So surely people then go away going, oh yeah, that's how you get good at this. You practice until your fingers bleed.
It's not a tutorial.
No, it's not a tutorial, but that's like the impression you leave someone with, right? The reason that annoys me is because it's just utter bollocks. Like there's if this was set in a world where you could easily relate to it, you would just go, this is rubbish. There's nothing here. This is like, Ted Lasso. Do you watch Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
Right. Don't get me wrong, totally very different. Your enjoyment...
Somewhat, yes.
Your enjoyment is not coming from a place of going, this is a great work of art. Your enjoyment from that film is coming from a place of, well, this is kind of fun. This is kind of heartwarming, right? But you'd be very comfortable with Ted Lasso of going, this is shit. This is nothing like football. This is just silly. This is just daft, right? This film doesn't get those remarks, but it should, because there's nothing going on here that is more complicated or more accurate than a Ted Lasso plot and approach to football, as Ted Lasso does there, right? In Ted Lasso, it doesn't matter. I contend that it does matter here because it's lending it a credibility, a depth, a sort of prestige that it doesn't deserve. And then people are taking that and going, oh yeah, this is a really intense film. This is, and you'd go, if it was Ted Lasso, you'd go, no, I didn't buy the jeopardy in that with the final kick of the game, actually, because that's just silly. That's overblown. That's not how football really goes down. Whatever.
Yeah, but Ted Lasso is melodrama, right? I don't think this is melodrama.
Well, I guess that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it sort of is. It's just for some reason people have attached something with a bit deeper meaning to it, and they're saying. I guess I'm saying it's nothing more than that. But people are making out that it is, and I don't think it's earned that.
Okay. I don't know how to argue the
well, look,
point on that one.
Like I say, I think it's sort of interesting that you acknowledge the sort of abuse side of it, because I was fully expecting you to sort of gloss over that. And come with the sort of like, well, here's why it's not really abuse, because there is sort of some value in his approach.
But then, you try and argue against what is abusive. Don't watch About Time episode.
Yeah, I was going to reference About Time. I was fully expecting more of those mental gymnastics. So I think it's interesting that you've sort of said that, but I am still then at a loss as to go, well, if you can sort of see that, where is your where is your sort of appreciation for what's going on here coming from? Hello there. Just a little editor's note to say that unfortunately, Carl has decided to continue with his Ted Lasso themed rant. Impassioned though it may be, well structured, it is not. Understandably, Simon is reduced to saying things like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to say.
And like this.
No.
If you did want to read about the idea that Whiplash's credibility and depth rely on a dishonest construct, then as usual, you'll find better worded reviews online. Here though, at least in this section, we've cut the rest of Carl's rant, because it's a load of bollocks. Back to the podcast.
Do you want a game to break things up?
I'd love a fucking game.
So here's the return of Taglies. So I have got 5 taglines for you, Carl. One of them is from this movie. 2 are from other movies that exist. And 2 are AI-generated ones for this movie. So you see if you can identify which is which. So I'm going to read through all of them once, so you can just...
You say you got 5?
5, yep.
All right.
I can reduce it if you don't
No,
think
no,
you can
no,
handle
no.
it.
Yeah, I can handle it.
Okay,
My
you ready?
track record would suggest otherwise.
I can
handle
handle it. I might not be good at it, but I can handle it. Okay, you ready? The road to greatness can take you to the edge. The pursuit of perfection comes at a price. I just want to be perfect.
Oh, fuck me, that one's bad, isn't it?
What you really worth? Talent isn't enough. Obsession is everything. Any initial thoughts there from...
Was that 4 or 5?
That was 5.
Was it 5? Right, how many of these are true?
One of them is only
Only one of
true.
them is true.
Yeah.
Oh,
2
it's
of them
the
are
first
from
one.
other movies.
No, it's the first one.
The first one's...
About On the Edge.
Okay. Which ones do you think's AI generated about this movie? So is it the pursuit of perfection comes at a price? I just want to be perfect. What are you really worth? Or talent isn't enough. Obsession is everything.
I mean, the of the 4 that I don't think is the real one, number 1 and 4 get closest to the meaning of the first one. And still have that sort of same style. The middle 2 sound absolutely shit. So it becomes a question of how good do I think AI is? So let's say 3 and 4 are the AI ones.
Oh, no, you should have gone with
I
your
should have
gut.
gone with
You should have
one,
gone with your gut.
and 4.
So yeah. So 1 is the real
But
one.
I want to know which movies 3 and 4
So
come from now.
The road to greatness can take you to the edge. That's the real one. That is for this movie. The pursuit of perfection comes at a price. AI. The talent isn't enough. Obsession is everything. AI.
All right, can I guess the movies of the
You can
3
try.
and 4?
So I just want to be perfect.
Do you think I'll know them?
You've definitely heard of both movies. You've definitely
Okay.
liked one of them. I don't know about
Just
the other.
want to be perfect. No, I think. I mean, you're waving me like you need to fill this time. I'm thinking.
You're thinking,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's of a similar theme to this movie.
Ted Lasso.
A lot of people.
Have they done a feature
no,
length?
a lot of people have made this comparison. No one has made the Ted Lasso comparison. that
No,
I'm
what's
aware
the
of.
what's the one? Isn't the one about a rock drummer or something?
I think you think it is Sound of Metal.
Yeah,
That's not about drumming.
is it not?
No.
Don't know, not
It's
seen.
a great movie though. I liked it,
Yeah, okay.
but very much. Just because there's drumming in it doesn't mean that's what it's about. Though.
Yeah, okay. Go on. What's the movie?
Black Swan.
No, not seen it.
You've
But I
not seen
have read a review of somebody, like you say, a lot of people have made this comparison.
Yeah,
Somebody shredding this movie,
yeah.
but reviewing it as if they're reviewing Black Swan. And say, anyway, but enough about Black Swan. Quite like that.
And then, What Are You Really Worth? One of your favourite films of the last 20 years.
The last 20 years. Well, we're going back. Okay, what's
Bradley
that?
Pitt's.
Bradley Pitt
is in it.
No, it wouldn't be that. Would it be that? No, it couldn't be that. It couldn't be that.
What could it not be?
It couldn't be Moneyball.
It is Moneyball.
It's Moneyball.
Yeah, terrible tagline.
It's a really terrible tagline.
What are you really worth?
Yeah. Not are you. What are they really worth? It should be.
Doesn't make any sense for the movie.
No, it doesn't.
No. But there you go. You did pretty well. You basically got 5 out of 5. You just second guessed yourself and thought AI was shitter than it was.
I'm prone to a good old second guess.
Yeah, well, there you go. Then that was Taglies. So a few more points on production.
Oh, I've got loads more in production.
You actually?
No.
No, you fucker. So what did you think of the music?
I mean, yeah, whatever. Don't care.
Wow. Okay. You did enjoy some of the music. It did sound like
it's not my cup of tea.
Well, yeah, it's not really my cup of tea either, but I thought it was good. I thought that the songs Whiplash and Caravan, when they actually played them in thing, were pretty strong, pretty thing. I listened to the soundtrack quite a lot after I'd watched the movie, just like good background work music. I thought it was quite nice. You know the score and musical by old best friends of Chazelle.
Oh yeah,
Justin Hurwitz.
Oh yeah, him. Yeah.
And he's done the old thing. This is what I need, talented friends, you see. Because all he does, he just takes him along for all his other films. He does all the scores and stuff for those as well. Like, why can't I have a talented friend?
Is he the one that did the actual drumming on the...
No, I think he just composes and, and stuff like that. I don't know who does the actual
because the
drumming.
Actual drummer got quite a lot of praise, saying it was like genuinely a really
good drumming.
Good
boy did drum good.
Piece of drumming. Yeah, the boy did drum good. Not the boy you think, but the boy did drum good.
Boy. Yeah. So this is one of the lowest grossing movies ever to be nominated for Best Picture Oscar. So had a 3.3 million budget, so pretty low budget, 19 days as we said. 13 million it got back in domestic box office in the US and Canada. Only 50 million worldwide. So I was one of the few people to actually go see it at the cinema.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I thought it would have had quite a bit of buzz about it from its old like Cannes and other film awards and things that it was getting on the circuit. But yeah, I mean, it made a tidy profit. Don't get me wrong. If I had spent 3.3 pounds on something and got 50 back, I'd be well happy. I can't imagine spending 3.3 million on anything, but hey ho. Okay, you got anything else?
No, not on production. No.
Editing, Carl.
Oh yeah, know all
What's
about
that then?
Cuts and shit in it.
Yeah, how it's stitched together. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds
seemed
right.
pretty good. I quite like the editing in this. Do you not like the editing? It's all stitched like some of the warm up for the music things. Were all like the read warm up.
Listen, I think it's like I said at the start. I think it's a fantastic looking film.
Yeah,
you've got some nice stuff around. You've got some nice stuff around little details around like spit valves and things out of the instruments. You get some shots of that, which I guess leans into the sort of I don't know if intensity is the right word, but the sort of I don't really know. What do I mean there? What's the word?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean,
but I like I quite like the cuts during the music scenes. I thought they did quite a good job, to my very untrained eye, of it not being like completely obvious of what was going on. And obviously, you've been paying closer attention and seeing that hitting the wrong things and playing the wrong sounds. But in terms of the mood and the feel of it, I didn't feel it got in the way. I felt it was fairly slick and well done. You got anything else?
Nope.
Okay, milk the cunt. Alrighty, let's move on to the plot. And this is the second of your buckets, Carl, I think?
Yes, my buckets.
Do you want to kick things off? And then I'll mellow things out with actually things that are nice?
Hey, I've got some... No, I haven't got anything.
I thought, to be fair, you said more nice things so far than I thought you might. So,
I think that is over.
We'll break up. We'll do the shit sandwich. No, not shit sandwich. It's the bread. The bread's the shit.
Yeah, what is that? Yeah,
the opposite.
Shit.
Yeah.
It still sounds like a shitty sandwich.
Yeah, otherwise you call it a bread sandwich. That wouldn't make any sense, would it?
Yeah. Oh, bread sandwich. That sounds right. Not this one. I'm afraid I've used shit where the bread should have been. Okay. Oh, look, I'm going to start with the positive as well.
Oh, Well, that's no, the shit sandwiches out the window.
Yeah, but it does lead into my issue with the plot.
Go on then.
What this film is doing really well is it's making Fletcher out to be this scary monster, right? And it does do that successfully. Fantastic. I think the kindest way of saying what I think about the rest of it is it doesn't really know what to do with that monster. I think possibly the truth is closer to it does, and it's just sort of back the wrong horse. Because what the plot does, instead of giving us, for me, a proper examination of that world and what that sort of abuse can do to a person and what it makes them do, for reasons I've sort of already touched on, I don't think we are getting a proper examination at all. What the plot does instead is it glorifies it. And the ending, especially, we just get this ridiculous, again, I didn't write this down. I didn't think I was going to be calling Whiplash Ted Lasso today, right?
Christ.
But it is Ted Lasso-esque, where they've gone through, this horrible relationship, and then it's almost like they wink at, you're half expecting them to wink, and then, you get like the audible twinkle in their eye, and then we cut to darkness, and oh yeah, it's all worked out, hasn't it? I really hate that ending exists, and I really hate that's the direction they've taken our monster.
So the ending, I'm going to loop back to because I don't. There's aspects of that I do agree with, but it would make no sense if I did it out of order.
Okay.
So I'm going to hit with this stuff, and then I'm going to come back to the ending, and we can talk about that. So I think where the disagreement is, and the 4 degrees of that disagreement is happening.
4 degrees, yeah.
Got that right. Is that not 5? Could be though.
Come on, get going. Now who's repeating themselves?
Sorry, yeah. It's a callback. It's not repeat. And the how it portrays the abuse and the abuser, and how it does that throughout the vast majority of the film, with the one caveat of the very end of the movie. Okay, so I think it's steadily revealed as you go through, and I wouldn't say slowly revealed, but it's like steadily, consistently revealed the extent and depth of and variety of the abuse that he is perpetrating on Neiman. And obviously it's revealed not just Neiman, but previous students. He's not special. He's not a particular case that he has picked. He's generally abusive, but he maybe saves special levels of abuse for particular ones. And then you obviously hear about the previous guy who dies, and you get that. But just I'm going through the timeline of this. So when he first calls him up, after storming through into the rehearsal and taking control immediately from the other conductor, calls him up, says it's 6 a.m. call time, obviously induces that level of panic that he's overslept and stuff when really it's a 9 a.m. thing. At first just comes off as like, a bit of a dick move, but okay, maybe that's his thing. Then you have that pep talk, right? You have the pep talk where you're like, you're here for a reason, yeah, really like geeing him up, like instilling this, like, no, I'm on your side. This is all about making you better, and yeah, we're all going to do this together, right? Very positive. And then immediately goes into when it's actually, literally the next scene with the not quite my tempo, escalating into the rushing, the dragging, the slapping, the single tear, the chair throwing, etc. Go on.
Well, he's purposely setting him up for a fall.
Yes, yeah.
So again, I'm going to hark back to people who know more than me. One of the things that was a constant in reviews by musicians who were saying, this is why this film doesn't work. Again, not because they're just talking about music, they're talking about why this film doesn't work. They would say, look, even when you encounter fierce teachers...
Which he's not.
Which he's not a teacher yet. They deal out equal amounts of praise, equal amounts of carrot and stick, right?
Right.
That isn't what he's doing at all. At no point does he balance encouragement with his abuse. He is all about the abuse, and even the bits that appear to be carrot, right? Even if we took those at face value and said, "Yeah, that's genuine encouragement,"
Yeah, well, it's not.
They're not
to be
balanced
it's
at
not
all.
to be
Like,
taken at face value. Yeah, but yeah.
the dial is so far over. But I'd go further than that, as you've just agreed with as well. He is setting him up for a fall.
Yeah.
He is being devious with that, and it is a near constant stream of abuse with him.
Yeah, agreed. I think the one point where there is like I don't know, it's not exactly a carrot. The one bit where he takes over as the temporary core member because he loses his book or whatever, and he can remember the chart or whatever that's all about. And he's watching him, right? He's watching him, just waiting for him to fuck up. Just waiting for him. He keeps and you see it keeps slipping. His eyes are watching as he's drumming along. He's watching him, and then eventually he just kind of goes, "All right, you got that." And his eyes then go back to the rest of the auction. That's like the one bit which actually just seems like okay, fine. Yeah, you've passed this test this time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's you giving the film credit it hasn't earned, because I think it's too trope heavy and gets music wrong to have built him into be, oh yeah, so we get he knows music, he's done that. I'm not buying it. And then I think like I've just said, the balance is so far over to abuse rather than him balancing it out with equal amounts of carrot.
No, he doesn't. And that's the thing.
I didn't. I guess long way of saying I didn't pick that up at all because.
Well, you don't think about films very deeply, Carl. You're very much a surface
I don't think
level
that's what's
kind of-
happening. I think okay, you think that's what's happening. I don't think it's earned that credit at all for us to be able to look at that moment and go, yeah, that's what that meant.
So it's followed up right with that part that I just said about the respect bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes to that scene with his dad where he's like, "Oh, how's it going?" He goes, "Yeah, I think he likes me more now." And he goes, his opinion of you's important to you. No, his opinion is important to you. He's like, yeah. And it's just, again, it's that thing of he's becoming like brainwashed in his abuse thing. He's so involved in needing to be appreciated and accepted by this monster. And he's so in it. He's so warped viewed of it. And his dad can almost see it. He can always see like, this doesn't sound like a great healthy path that you're going down. But I'm gonna kind of let you continue for now before he steps in later and it's gone too far. So yeah, when he has that and then he's feeding he kind of feeds his ego, and then that leads to him. This is Neiman, sorry. Isolating himself and breaking up with the girlfriend, making unhealthy choices, that obsession, and becoming even more isolated and more dedicated to unhealthy practices to try and drive to be the best, which you've already pointed out are obviously not the way that any good healthy practice is going to be productive to get. And then it goes on to like the most obviously physical abuse as well, of just that 5 hours of rotating around the three drummers doing the double time swing to earn the part that essentially he's kind of gone, oh yeah, you're the man, yeah, and then gone like, oh, building up, and then like, no, you've not earned it. You've not earned it, you need to earn it. It's just another bit of psychological torture that he's having. And then ultimately he earns the part that he stole, tells him that he earned it after essentially abusing him for 5 hours, probably not getting any better, probably not actually doing it, probably did just a good job at the start as he did at the end, but he's essentially gone like 5 hours, yeah, okay, I've proved my point, you've earned it. Essentially putting him in his place to know that I fucking own you, bitch. And then as soon as the first thing goes wrong with the delay with the bus breakdown and the cars and getting late to the thing, gives away his place just to show how much power he has, even calls it out, literally that it's mine, I'm just lending it to you. And then ultimately that leads to other crazy decisions that he's making, bad bad choices that he's making as a result of that abuse leads to the car crash and the ultimate falling down and bringing him down in terms of getting him fired from the bit. So I think it's quite a journey of consistent and building levels of abuse, going from psychological, physical, emotional side of things. So I don't know, it seems quite relentless in that, and that's what I kind of found in that intensity, unyielding intensity I was talking about.
The two problems I have with the plot relating to what you've just said, the first is Fletcher's motivations. And you've sort of touched on this a bit already. Let's put a pin in that and come back to it. Because the other thing that I have with the plot, I think where the plot fails to give characters any depth or even arc, right? So I don't think Fletcher has any effect on Naaman at all. So when you're talking about going, the abuse has led him to do this and to do this and to do this, and that's quite a journey. Don't get it. Because I think Naaman is just an arsehole. And I think he's an arsehole at the start, and I think he's an arsehole at the end. And he has a goal, and what Fletcher does to him is essentially inconsequential, because he'll just do whatever it takes anyway, and he would have done that regardless of who his teacher, not teacher, as we know. His teacher, not teacher was, right? When he talks about the dinner table scene, when he talks about the band, and he's putting his family's achievements down, pouring scorn on them, he doesn't say, I'm playing with the best band in the country. He doesn't say that, because it's not about that.
He does say that.
No, he doesn't.
He
says that means I'm the best band in the world. He says it means I'm the best drummer in the world.
Oh, he says it's playing with the best group in the country. It's the best thing. Definitely says that. He's a core member of the best of the biggest thing. I think he doesn't say about the best drummer in the world. I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
He says that means I'm the best in the world. He's very much that means I'm the best. He's not framing it around I'm getting to play with this. I'm honoured to do this. That's a great opportunity for me. He says that means I'm the best. That's what he says.
Okay, well, we'll
because
save that for corrections.
Because that's
either
his
way,
goal, right? And nothing that Fletcher has done to him has changed that goal. At no point has Fletcher inspired him to go, you could be the best, and he goes, yes, I'm gonna pursue that goal. So I don't think the plot...
I think he's exploited that. Like, he sees these kids,
sure,
he
Fletcher,
identifies those kids who want to be the best, right? Because that's a natural thing to want to be the best. That's not a common thing, but it's something that is apparent in the world, right? There are people like that who go, what do you want to be? I want to be the best thingy in the world.
Usually.
Yeah. But he's exploiting that, and he knows that he can manipulate and exploit that to his either his own benefit, as I said, if they do become the best, it's going to reflect well on him, or just to satisfy his kicks and basically say, whatever the fuck I do to you, you're going to come crawling back because you think I'm the one that's going to help you get to be the best.
He's an abuser. He's an abuser.
Yeah.
And this is where it comes onto my other problem with the plot, where I think it's silly. Fletcher's motivations don't make sense, or the plot doesn't make sense in the context of Fletcher's motivations. Because, how does he see things going? He makes a big song and dance about how his reputation is everything and he can't have people fucking it up, which makes sense, right? Something going badly wrong is going to reflect badly on him. I'm sure there's a lot of that shit in that world. You don't get second chances, all that crap, right? But yet, Naaman shows up after his car crash and he's just like, yeah, go on, fucking get on, where have you been? As if that's going to go well. What was he thinking was going to go on? The point is, well, he was thinking, fucking great, I've got a chance to fucking hurt him again here because he's a sadist, yeah? But how does that tally with what he said about his career? And where's that going to take him next? And actually, for a different reason, his career gets taken off the rails because obviously Naaman does the complaint and then he ends up getting sacked from, is it Schrader? Schaefer? Yeah. He ends up getting sacked. But then, he gets this big gig and he's leading this band, and even then he's like, yeah, another chance to fuck you over. How does that fit in with him wanting to protect his reputation?
He's
and
fucking maniac.
Look, and that's fine, right? Maybe that's as deep as the plot is. I think it actually is, right? Then I'm almost at that point resting everything on the ending and going, why have we legitimized and glorified this
Yeah,
fucking
and
maniac?
let's get to the ending then. So I've got mixed feelings on this on the rewatch, not something I had on the initial 2 watches. I had one at cinema, one at home. So I still think as a spectacle and a piece of cinema, I think it's still excellent. But I did enjoy it less, the ending this time, and I had a slight issue with it. So if initially it's all about revenge, right? Making Neiman pay for what he's done to him, right? When he comes back out, so he's set him up to fail.
Yeah.
He's humiliated him. He's ruined any prospects he had in his career, basically, which is what he wanted to do. It's almost like that drug addict, right? That addict that had been completely addicted to something. He's got clean, and then he's just gone a little bit of this, a taste for this, and then gone like, nah, fuck you, not having any more of it. But then he comes out. He hugs his dad, right? Comes out, takes control from his abuser, essentially ignores him and just goes, fuck you, I'm going to do this. And he's going to show what he can do. And there's that. But unfortunately, I think what that actually ends up doing is actually ultimately justifying the treatment when he turns out to be great, right? Because not how I originally interpreted, but on thinking about it, Fletcher probably thinks he's won almost, and he's got his thing, because he gets this guy who's abused and actually turns out to be fucking great. And the bit that I think it most gets wrong, right, is that when Fletcher kind of goes like, Andrew, what are you doing? And then he's just like, I'll cue you in. And then he starts like helping him. He's like, oh no, slow it down, quieten it down, I'll speed up. Yeah, I'll speed up. And they start working together on it. And I think that's the misstep, that it should have been almost like, no, he takes control and he goes, fuck you, I'm going to do my thing. He somehow manages it. Fletcher walks off in basically like, fuck, I've lost it. I've essentially been defeated here. And if you're going to get the moment of fuck you, abuser, I've taken control. Look, I am successful in spite of your abuse, not because of it. That's what I think would have been better.
Yeah.
Not the bit where essentially they leave the stage going, triumphant musician and conductor have amazing show. I think that's where it sometimes.
I think there's no excuse for having Fletcher as triumphant in this. I think it's an awful message. I touched on that at the start. Now I do obviously agree that it would be much better for Neiman to give him an up yours and being triumphant, and Fletcher walks off. I don't think that's enough, and I think the film fails in being able to deliver that, even if you just change the ending, because I don't think Neiman would necessarily. I don't think he's well developed. I don't think he's anything beyond an arsehole. Like I say, I don't think he goes through an arc at all in this film.
And I agree with that as well, right? He's an arsehole character.
He never does the right thing, right?
No.
There's a bit with his dad. They go to the cinema. He uses that as derision when he's with his girlfriend. He only ever goes back to his dad when he's got no other choice. He never makes the right decision throughout it. He's just awful, which is again why I think there's not enough in the plot to suggest that actually Fletcher's having any effect on him. So I don't buy that the plot's done enough to earn. Oh well, if he gave him the thumbs up, the thumbs up, that's definitely right. The up yours. Imagine if he did that. We full Ted Lasso.
The Fonz.
Wink and hey. cut to black. I don't think it's done enough to go, yeah, that's him telling his abuser he's won, because I just think there's not the depth in Neiman's character to bring that home. The other thing is, it's not enough for Fletcher just to like walk off stage. He needed a proper fucking bringing down and being like, this guy is an abuser and he's shit. He's not.
So I think I really do apologise. This is a genuine apology to anyone who's been actually directly affected by proper abuse, because I honestly don't understand it enough to be able to do it. But I'm going to throw words out there and people can tell me that I'm a fucking idiot. So, the thing about how to tackle abuse and what's going to affect them most is actually removing their power, right? And so by getting him fired, that has removed his power from that position that he essentially had power over whoever he wanted, over everyone he wanted. So getting fired has removed that power. That's an effective case against him as that abuser. The reason why I say him having to be him walking off and essentially being defeated in that way and Neiman taking control is, again, it's that removal of power over him, over the rest of the band. What the fuck do you call them? I don't know. Group. And the fact that he's walking off powerless and doesn't have the power to harm in any way. So I think that is the only reason I thought that would be the way to end it effectively.
I do agree. I do agree with that. We're just back to that point of difference where I don't think the film has done enough to earn that depth for that to land. But I totally agree with what you've just said. Yeah.
Oh, cool. You got anything else on plot, Carl?
Yeah. So first of all, an apology. You are correct. He does say it's the best band in the country.
Oh, there we go. I wanted to save the apology for next week. Yeah, but that's fine.
Although the point I'm trying to sort of make there is very, very centric around.
Oh, I don't. 100%. He is. He's not a nice character.
Not at all.
And the bit that would have actually tried was the potential to make him a bit nicer when you had the girlfriend who just seemed like a very sort of normal, nice person. He immediately fucked that up and abandoned and screwed it up as soon as he had the first opportunity to go like, oh, you're going to be getting in my way. And she spells that out, right, in her response. It's very clear. It's not meant to be going like, yeah, good on you. Yeah, fuck the bitch. Yeah, she's going to be holding you back. Like it is highlighted that he's being an absolute tool.
Yeah. He has been an absolute tool. Actually, I've sort of written down they're all arseholes in this, but actually she's maybe one of the only ones where you go like,
and the dad.
She's okay. Yeah, the dad.
Because even the one bit of not 100% supportive dad behaviour that he does, right, is at the dinner table where he essentially, without telling, shut the fuck up, he kind of like just puts him in his place a little bit.
Yeah, but he's kind of batting for other people there, isn't he? So he's still good dad behaviour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Just blindly supporting son.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the plot's pretty. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I said,
we don't like repeating things on this podcast.
No, we I mean, I don't. It's true. It's really true.
But yet,
you listen to these back, I can't bear it. There was a bit that annoyed me with the investigator. By the way, another example of Neiman only doing the right thing when he feels like he's already fucked up anyway. So I'll just say whatever you want.
He's not doing
the abuse.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing the. He feels like he's doing the right thing there.
Oh no, his motivations are completely misplaced. But there was a bit there. Did he? The investigator says, did he ever inflict emotional distress? And it's really selling it short because not just emotional, first of all, by the way. And she's talking about this in the context that someone's actually killed themselves. And the other thing that is completely glossed over in this film, these are near children, right?
Yeah.
These are near children and were somehow never supposed to sort of really weigh that up, I feel like. And I know, like, they're not actually children because they've passed the completely arbitrary age of 18. And therefore, you matter differently now. But it is worth pointing out this takes place in the US where they've drawn another arbitrary line and he still can't drink. So he's still not a full adult in the eyes of the law. These are sort of near children. And he's not just inflicted emotional distress. He's physically abusing them himself. And we are talking about this, that someone has killed themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't see the whole of that scene and thing though, right? That's like question number one, and then Dad's sort of arguing. He goes like, Just tell me what.
Sure, but the film, the plot never gets into that as it really should do. And if you're telling me it's about this sort of abuse and what that does to people, it needs to go into that. And instead it just feels cheap because we constantly skip over that. He starts crying about his person who committed suicide, but he was a good musician. The guy that was shit and he bullied into killing himself, just the child, the near child, whatever. And again, I don't want to say it's all about the ending because I was already really annoyed before the ending, but the ending does make all of these things even more egregious when they look at each other and they get that moment of recognition. Like, are we just supposed to forget about the near child he drove to suicide? Like, does he not matter because he's not a good drummer and this kid does? It's just, I don't think the plot is good enough to convey any depth.
All right, it's time for any changes. So, we may as well skip this. Carl's not going to have any.
Yes, it's picture perfect, mate.
So only 3, Carl. Just 3. You're limited to 3 changes, 3 maximum. So you can do 1, you can do 2. You can, I suppose, do 3, but you can't do 4.
Yeah.
You can't do 3A and 3B either, okay? Know your fucking game. Don't try and pull it, okay?
Yeah, so changes. People talk about going back in time, don't they, and killing Hitler as a baby?
For fuck's sake.
But I think the knock-on effect of that is a bit too much to fuck around with, to be honest. But
you're going to kill
I
Chazelle.
do wonder if we could alter Damien Chazelle's path without too much of a ripple. What do you think? Yeah?
You're an animal.
You know having that?
No. What did he ever do to you? Oh, wait, you made this film. I see.
Look, the change I've got.
That's already 1.
Yeah, okay. All right, so the other change I've got.
Joking, it's fine.
And I think, tonally, I think this film's not, let's say it's misguided. I think I've got problems with the execution and the way it sort of... I really do think there's a snobbery in it with the whole way it portrays music, and it annoys me, therefore, that it's inaccurate. And they've... again, a lot of the musicians that are reviewing it are just going, they've completely... Like, nobody in this film appears to like music. Nobody's enjoying making music, and that is just fundamentally wrong about this whole thing. To be honest with you, I've got too many changes. I'd revamp the whole fucking film if I could. So the one I'm going to say is the ending has to go. If we're going to suffer through his abuse, and I'll mention this in my closing statement as well, you've been... fairer or more reasonable than I thought you might, to be honest with you.
I'm a reasonable man.
You're a reasonable man. You've recognised that sort of abuse and the sort of unacceptability of it. If we're going to suffer through that and his Naaman's reckless pursuit of greatness, then it cannot be that the only thing this film has to say is they both achieved what they wanted. And that's what the ending feels like. And look, you probably need to make some fundamental changes to that to make an ending land, whatever. But that's really where we go through the whole film and they're just saying, "Oh, fuck off!" right at the end. So it's got to go.
What I'd like to see, right, is Naaman's dad come on stage, take over as conductor, and just fucking nail it out of nowhere.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it can't be. It can't be worse.
So I've already mentioned, I think, the one change regarding the ending. Feels like Fletcher gets a win at the end vicariously through Andrew's performance and therefore achievement, and therefore everything sort of coming off and him, essentially winning there. So I've already talked about that. That's one. The second one is, and this is from reading the some reviews, right? So I don't know fucking anything about jazz, about music.
Well, we don't know.
Or movies, or I don't know, you name it, football, nothing.
Watford fan makes sense.
Yeah, but just some of the simple things that people have commented on, like the jazz references, like even about Charlie Parker and all of that stuff. Like apparently it's just like wrong. Some of the things they're saying is just like factually incorrect, and they repeatedly say them. It's just like, just don't get them wrong.
Yeah.
If you're going to mention them once,
that,
definitely don't mention them multiple times if they're wrong. Yeah. It's like you're just opening yourself up to criticisms on the inaccuracies, which I don't think really those are critical to the story anyway.
No.
Like you could have got around that fairly easily. So yeah, that was my two changes. Have you got anything else you wanted to?
No,
Good.
It's really more of an underlying problem I have. But yeah, the ending's the obvious one.
Cool. All right, let's finish things. No, not quite finish things off. Penultimate section.
Yeah.
This is why you're wrong.
Yeah.
Closing statement from each. So, Carl, over to you.
Okay.
Keep it brief.
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Your opening statement, by the way, was one of the longest you've ever done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I sort of expected that. Do you want to know what I wrote down?
I don't know.
I wrote down, and I don't pre-prepare these, but the mood I was in when I was making my notes, I wrote down, this is why you're wrong. I don't care. I'm so turned off by this movie, I can't be asked to argue about it anymore.
Cool. I reckon that's good. Mine's pretty short as well.
Look, I mean, I do think you've been very fair. Do you know something else I hate about this movie? And it's not the movie's fault. I hate how it makes me feel like the outsider, like the knobhead here. Because it is so widely revered.
It really is.
And there is a healthy amount of toxicity as well. If you go on Reddit and stuff like that, where it's a bit more of a discussion rather than just reviews about people. Oh no, it's not about that at all. No, you've just completely misunderstood it. You've just been contrarian as well. It's like, well, we're talking about abuse of fucking near kids here. Fuck off, labelling me as contrarian. That's insulting. Anyway, hate that. Not the movie's fault, but could really do without feeling like a dickhead just because it's highly rated. I don't think he gets music right, which, not necessarily a problem, but it is such a central point, or it's the main tool of trying to get us to buy into these characters' journeys, and it gets it wrong. And then when I talk about the characters' journeys, I think the plot is so silly. I didn't see much of a journey at all. They're all arseholes. They start out as arseholes, and they end up as arseholes. And then the film has the sort of temerity to go, yeah, and it was the right way to do it. It was all worth it. And I've just no time for it. So, yeah, I mean, look, you might enjoy it. I don't. That's why. How about it?
Okay, so at the start and end of the movie, in the version that I watched for the purposes of this podcast, there's a screen which displays Sony Pictures Classics. Why would they lie, Carl? Why would they lie?
Yeah.
Why? You're wrong. I'm right.
Yeah.
Sony's right. Now, fuck off, Johnny Utah. Move your needle, bitch.
The thing is, right, by sheer weight of like numbers, I am wrong here. Right? The masses say I'm wrong. The critics say I'm wrong. Friends say I'm wrong. You say I'm wrong. Some people that I respect their opinions say I'm wrong.
So that's not me. You're two buckets there. You had you say you're wrong, and some people whose opinions I respect say I'm wrong. Yeah. But that's not that Venn diagram overlap there.
But
is
I just
absolute.
What's here? No. So
Carl,
no, I don't think you'll.
Has your needle been moved though? Has it though?
No, it hasn't. Now,
I thought I saw a quiver for a second, but
question for you. Obviously, not going to have moved your needle. But did you like it as much second time as first time?
Well, it's the third time. Second time, 100% yes. I can't remember when I rewatched it the second time. First time was a genuine experience, right? I thought it was fantastic. Second time, I remember enjoying it just as much. Third time, it's the same. Like we talked about this last week a little bit. When we're watching it for the purposes of the podcast, when we're making notes and we're looking for things, you are consuming it in a slightly different way by doing it in that way. To a point where I'm actually thinking about maybe not just doing the notes and trying to just make notes afterwards as well. So yeah, I mean, I've already mentioned that the ending stuck out a bit more for me, and wasn't. I was taken away by the ending at the in initial watches, but I actually noticed more in the ending at the second, and I was less consumed with the performance as well.
No, I know. I'm not trying to retrospectively move your needle here. I know you've already said your needle's not been moved, but that's kind of what I'm angling at when I say, like it's pulled the wool over your eyes a little bit. Because if you actually stop to think about the ending, it's pretty tasteless.
Yeah.
But if you have been taken in, and the film tells you this is how I feel, and you feel, that's what I mean when I'm saying I think it's pulled the wool over people's eyes.
Yeah, and I think because I've gone with it throughout, I see that more as the misstep at the end that they've just made a little bit of an error rather than it being a reflection on the whole a whole piece, if you know what I mean.
And that does sum our positions up. You see that as a misstep. I see that as actually the tone of the whole
of the
movie.
thing, right? Yeah, exactly.
And that is why I fucking hate it.
Okay, let's finish things off with the data section. So, some ratings for you, Carl, and these will be well aligned with your own, I'm sure. So, IMDb, 8.5. 8.5. Number 39 in the top 100 films of all time.
It upsets me. It upsets me.
You know what should upset you more? Your precious Letterboxd.
Yeah, 4.4.
4.4.
I know.
Even higher?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm no mathematician, but 2 times 4.4 is 8.8.
I mean, to be expected because wanky critic piece as well. Letterboxd leans into that a bit more, doesn't it?
And to support your argument there, Metascore, 89. So critics...
Yeah, even higher again.
It.
Yeah.
For me, so this has been a 5-star film for me from the get-go, from day dot. Now, the decision I need to make here is my new reflection on the ending enough to knock half a star off? I'll reflect on it. But basically, it's a 5-star film.
Did you see my review from before?
No, because you redacted it.
Yes, that was for you.
I saw that. That's what I was going to ask. I forgot to ask it on it because I was just like, as I said on the last pod, like I don't look at your thing until I've get to this last section and start doing the ratings, and then I basically go to the film. It says oh, it's this much, and then it says, oh, your friend rated it 1. Or whatever, and then I go, oh, fuck it, I'll click on it. So it doesn't actually influence anything or arguments that I come forward with. But interesting that you were like,
nevertheless,
not today, boy.
Yeah, nevertheless, I did that. I thought, ooh.
So I'm guessing you copied and pasted?
Yeah,
and
I pasted it to my notes. Yeah,
unless you've deleted that, then all that.
No, I've got it. And don't worry, because my rating hasn't moved. It's still a 1. I'm comfortable able to.
You just copying and pasting. There's no edits.
No, I mean, I don't think my reflections this time will be a bit much different to the first time round. And I give it a 1, and not half a star, because I do genuinely really, really dislike this movie, and I also do genuinely think it's not a particularly well plotted movie, but there are some great things about the production.
Simmons' performance.
Yeah, and for what he's asked to do, he's absolutely delivering. He's phenomenal. And you could argue, well, one's a bit harsh. You can go up to, just on that alone, you go up a bit. Maybe so, but
yeah, but if you dislike it so as much as you do, it's a bit.
Well, I do try separate.
Yeah, I know, but still.
But yeah,
to a point,
it'll be 1.5, something like that, because there aren't enough good things.
So you're saying that I've moved your needle a half a star?
I don't think.
Fine, whatever.
That's what we're doing here.
So, awards and nominations. So, nominated for 5 Oscars in 2015. Won 3 of those. Best Picture lost out to, I'm not giving it its full title, Birdman. Seen Birdman?
Oh,
and
The Virtue of...
all that.
Yeah. I have seen Birdman. Interesting.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah, same.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think I rated it 3.5, going yes.
I liked
appreciate this film.
Yeah, I liked the one-shot thing.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even know it was in that style.
No.
Until afterwards, and I was like, oh yeah, that's why it felt weird. So I thought it was effective. I liked the meta nature of it. But it doesn't get much beyond that. Yeah. Like you said, interesting.
Yeah, interesting rather than, I wasn't taken away with it and came up going oh, amazing. But solidly made film, really appreciate, they're good acting,
One of those films that I'm really glad that it exists. Not something I can say about this film.
All right. So best supporting actor, JK Simmons won.
I got to say, I do think that's a bit of a travesty. I think it is such a performance.
Well, let's
And
see
he's
who
such
he
the
would have been up
driving-
against in the old...
Yeah, he's such the driving force of this film. I think it's a real shame he hasn't got a Best Actor nod there.
Right, you bear with me. Right, so talk about, whilst I frantically Google...
Well, I tell you what...
adapted screenplay. Did you know, Carl, that it's adapted screenplay?
Yeah?
Because it was actually
Is it? Yeah.
based
Yeah.
on a short. I mean, I don't think you're aware of this. I think it's the first time I'm telling you this. So, yeah.
I'll tell you the sort of mood I was in when I made these notes as well. So I'll show my hand here. Best character.
Show Show your hand here.
That
You've literally spent the whole 2 hours slagging this film off. You're
No,
not
no,
showing
but
your
I
hand
mean,
now.
I know, you normally you're gonna ask me these things sequentially, but there's no point because best character, that piece of pizza looks all right. Best scene, the credits.
You having
Best
pizza?
quote, what are you doing, man?
Oh, nice.
What Fletcher said to Andrew, but I'd like to say it to Damien Chazelle.
Right, nice. What pizza are we having?
No, it's the pizza he's having with his date.
Oh,
in
the pizza
thing.
doesn't. It was huge as well. Did you see the bit he was walking with at the end?
Yes, it was the best bit of the film.
Amazing. Going to New York. Wait, was this set in New York?
Yeah, I don't know if they ever actually explicitly state that, do they? But that's
I
what
got a
I
feeling
assumed.
it was, right? Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where I assumed it was.
Okay, fine. If he was up for best leading actor, he would have been up against Eddie Redmayne in The Theory of Everything.
Not seen it.
You know what it is, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Benedict Cumberbatch in The Imitation Game.
He's
Bradley
better than that.
Bradley Cooper in American Sniper.
He's better. Fuck me. Is he better than that?
Yeah. Michael Keaton in Birdman.
Yeah, he's better than
And
that.
Steve Carell in Foxcatcher.
Not seen it.
Which I've not seen that either, yeah. So, yeah,
Who won that?
Redmayne.
So,
Because biopic, disabled. You're not going to beat
is
him.
that the one where he dresses up as a woman?
No, that's a Danish girl or something.
Oh, okay.
This is...
Have you ever seen Phil Wang talk
Sorry.
about
Phil Wang.
Yes,
Phil Wang.
yes, Phil Wang. Is he a comedian?
Okay.
Have you ever seen him talk about Tom Hiddleston?
No.
It's brilliant, right? The absolute fucking disdain he has for Tom Hiddleston, which I share, by the way. Tom Hiddleston's a proper shit. Really conceited, thinks he's so much better than he is. He's cringe-worthy, Tom Hiddleston. Anyway, he mentions Eddie Redmayne. He's like, we already have Benedict Cumberbatch and Eddie Redmayne. We don't need a third.
I
Anyway,
like him. I
go
like him. Editing, win.
Yeah, why not?
Sound mixing, won.
Sure, yeah.
Yep. Adapted screenplay didn't win. Lost out to Imitation Game. Seen Imitation Game? Did you see
Yes.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
That's all right, yeah.
Rewatchability, Carl. I know, sorry.
Very no, but I will bawl like a baby if I have to watch this again.
Cool. I put very yes. Best scene.
I apologise, I've just read my tearjerker note there instead. Nevertheless, rewatchable, very no. Best scene, yeah, the credits, like I said.
So I'll go for the Not My Tempo bit where, because I just felt like the intensity and the fear there and that is palpable. Plus, it comes up with a lot of the more memorable, abusive quotes, which I definitely won't use on others.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Anyway,
I think that level of homophobia is frowned upon in this day and age.
oh no, not the homophobic stuff. No, just
Yeah,
the other,
not the homophobia, the
just
other
the general
abuse.
mental
Yeah,
abuse.
yeah.
I have a line, Carl.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I'm not an animal.
No, yeah. You curate your abuse, don't you?
Damn right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So best quote. Sorry, you rattled stuff off while I was researching things, so I didn't really listen.
Yes, best quote was, "What are you doing, man?" Which is what Fletcher said to Andrew, but I'd like
In
to
the
say
worst-
to Damien Chazelle.
Oh, okay, cool. So I was torn because I think there's quite a few. I think the one I quite liked was "Tell me it's not you, I'm a fud." When he was abusing nothing there, no.
Yeah. I found it really difficult for quote and scene because in isolation you can read some of them, they're quite funny, but
Yeah.
mostly I just got really annoyed.
Okay, fine.
So,
I think my favourite one is though. Oh my dear God, are you one of those single tear people? Do I look like a double fucking rainbow to you? No.
yeah, sure.
Completely no-sell. Like it. Okay. But I do like a work-related line.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
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 So what about? But I tried. I actually fucking tried, and that's more than most people ever do.
Yeah, that works in
For
your
work-related.
Yeah, your work-related context.
All right, cool. So favorite character. Let's just skip over yours.
Yeah, the piece of pizza. Yeah.
I'd said Andrew's dad.
Yeah.
If we're talking about a character you actually like.
Yeah, well, you've also the difficulty with this film, which is not related to my dislike for it, is when we say you can't make main characters. There's not a lot else going on here, is there?
Well, and also like favorite character as well. Like favorite, you go, oh, you liked that character, did you? It's just like
it's a bit tough here, isn't it?
Yeah. So tearjerker, no. Jerker, no. Very no.
Yeah.
No jerkiness.
No.
Okay, so our top three, for fuck's sake. I just remembered what we did there.
Yeah.
So for top three, top three movies named after injuries. Okay, have you got a top three? Have you got
I've
order?
got a top three. Yeah, I've got a top three.
You got order?
Yeah. So I think my number 3.
Yep.
Burn after reading.
That's an injury.
Oh, a burn. Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Just the burn.
Oh, yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're just.
I don't want to burn. Do you want to burn? I don't want to
We're
burn.
including just words within a title that are named after it.
Well, yeah.
Not movies that are named after injuries.
Well, it is. Burn.
Okay, cool.
I'll be
Do you actually
reading
like Burn After Reading?
Yeah, yes. Burn After Reading is one of the... It's not very well liked in Coen Brothers film
I'm
bros
not a big fan.
circles. But the thing I like about Burn After Reading is it does not ask much of you as a viewer at all.
No, not at all.
So I then will forgive the Coen Brothers for all their other sins because they're not asking me to buy into anything. And it's just a bit of daft fun.
That's like Brad Pitt is his stupidest, right?
It's just a bit of daft fun.
Yeah.
George Clooney's silly. John Malkovich silly. Francis McDormand's loads of fun. I forget the guy who runs the gym. I forget what his name is. He's been in all sorts of things. Great.
Maybe I'll rewatch.
Just daft fun.
Okay. So I went for... so
I'll be very impressed, by the way, if you've got 3 that are just purely injuries.
All right, I'll reorder. So my number 3 is Scarface.
Okay, yeah.
Injury on my
Yeah, no, I should have.
Face.
You're right. Scarface should
Scar
be
my
in
face.
here.
I scarred my face.
Scarface would be number 2 if I'd have remembered it in this context.
Okay.
My number 2. Fracture.
See, I've not seen that. Is that Anthony Hopkins?
Anthony Hopkins and Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. I've not seen that, and I don't know why I've not seen it.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of sharp.
It seems like it just
Yeah.
one I would have watched when it was first released in not on cinemas, but in
I haven't seen it in a little
movies.
while, but I remember Anthony Hopkins in particular being very sharp in it. I do like Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, that was one I saw, and I was like, I can't put that. It's definitely up there.
There's a great line in it Anthony Hopkins delivers, and it's because he's got a kind of he's got a weird sort of lilt, hasn't he, with his accent. He's Welsh, but it's sort of
very Anthony
Americanized.
Hopkins,
Yeah. And there's a great line, I killed them both with one fucking bullet. And it's like, oh, yes.
It's very Hopkins. Yeah. Okay, number 2 for me, Whiplash.
Yeah. Okay, number 2.
Only because I want to save the first one till last.
Okay. All right.
What's your number 1?
My number 1 is Anatomy of a Fall. Ooh, a fall. You know, a fall.
It's not an injury.
A fall is an injury.
No, that's the act of injuring yourself.
Yeah.
I've got a fall.
Well, then I'd have to put Scarface number 1 there, wouldn't I?
All right. So number 1 for me is, you know when you poke yourself in the eye?
Yes.
Yeah, and you end up with the hurt looker. You got the hurt looker.
The hurt looker.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
hurt
word.
looker.
Why are you doing it in a northern
The
accent?
hurt looker.
Why?
Because it's the looker. It's
Do you
the hurt
think? Do you think
locker.
northern people
Locker.
call eyes lookers?
Yep.
I
Yeah.
don't- no.
No, but I needed something that made locker sound like looker and linked to eyes.
Right.
So yeah, I've gone for that. 'Cause,
Okay.
You hurt your looker.
Do you think northern people say
No.
locker, like
No.
looker?
No,
No.
but it fit
Did it?
when I wrote it down.
Yeah. Right. Good.
I mean, I could go for the locker being your ball sack.
No.
Stomach?
No.
Your head?
No. No, I think...
I'm
move
sticking
on,
with
move
the eye.
on, I
I'm
think.
sticking with
Move
the
on.
eye.
Yeah, move on, I think.
Oh, shit, we don't pause here. Carl, you got anything else? I forgot the format of the podcast for a second there.
By the way, why do you ask me if I have anything else at this point?
Because then I say that's all we've got. Because if you've not got anything else,
Yeah.
I've not got anything else, then that's all
So
we've
follow-up
got.
question.
Why do I say that's all we've got?
When I do have something else, why do you then follow that up with,
Because-
oh, for fuck's sake?
Because then I can't say that's all we've got.
All right, okay.
So do you have
Right.
anything else, Carl?
No.
Good answer. Well, that's all we've got. So if we move the needle for you, even if we didn't, please do rate us, follow, subscribe, wherever you are listening, and leave us a 5-star review. It really does. Oh, no, shit, I didn't update this. Oh, that's disappointing. I usually try and update this for a different thing.
What have you been left? Tickle the toes?
Oh,
Was it suck the
that-
toes the
you'd
other
fucking
week?
like that, wouldn't you, you dirty bitch?
Wasn't it suck the toes the other week?
No. Oh, no, but have I used to suck the toes? I should keep a record of this. I had
think you've said
circled the
suck the toes
areola
before.
last time.
You did have, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've said suck the toes before.
Yeah. I don't know. This is going to be quite revealing, whatever comes
Yes.
out my mouth. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
I'm on tenthooks.
Oh, shit. Oh, no, here we go. Right. I'll stick with something
Yeah.
that's just really...
What-
everyone loves this.
Listen, nobody is still listening to this, so you can say whatever your heart desires. Do you know what film that's from?
No.
Whatever your heart desires.
No.
Answers on the postcard. If anyone is still listening,
You
this
get
is
a
how
prize.
we'll find out.
We'll get you a prize.
No.
We'll send you a prize in
Your
the
prize
post.
is kudos.
Send a stamped addressed oh my goodness, a stamped addressed envelope to our shed, Arrogate.
Listen, whatever your heart desires, if you know what film that's from, let us know. Simon, nobody is listening, so whatever your heart desires, let's hear it.
So it really does cup the balls of the algorithm
Is
and get us out there.
Jesus Christ, you need to.
No,
you need to push your
I backed
push your
off.
boundaries.
I
mate.
backed off. I thought it would be too revealing. If I said tongue the arsehole, it would have just been.
Come on, it's 2024. Is that the best you've
Well,
got?
it's fine. It's fine. I'll save it for another time. It really does cup the balls with the algorithm and get us out there to a larger, less abusive audience. So our Twitter and Instagram is MTN Movie Pod. You can also find our page on Facebook. Details can all be found in the show description. We're also on YouTube at Movie the Needle, and we're getting our TikTok on at movie.the.needle. So from me and Carl, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm off to play hide and seek with JK Simmons and Vern Troyer. Vern's just not getting the hiding part very well, so I can still fucking see you, Mini-Me.